New map coming in December, plus outlook for 2022 Mechwarrior Online. Hi friends, I'm TTB. Welcome to more Mechwarrior Online news. Guys, the October dev blog is out. It is 40 minutes. I'm going to link to it in the video description down below, of course. But I decided to just give you guys an abridged, to like shorten the short and sweet, the important points of this new devlog. If you want to watch it in full, go ahead, click on the link in the video description below. Other than that, I'm just going to lead you through what I find are the most important points or the most interesting points to talk about. Now, they'll be talking about the new changes for Viridian Bog. They'll be talking about the new map that's coming out. They'll be talking a little bit about the MWO comp series, as well as some of the things that they're doing behind the scenes, as well as an outlook into 2022. So let's get started. Now, the first thing that we had was they were talking about Viridian Bog, kind of a little bit about what changes they made and why they made them. Francois, I think overall, after playing the map for a couple of times now, did a really good job. The only thing is that they're a little bit underutilizing right now the lower ground. They want to add a couple of capture points to the lower ground to make sure that there's some fighting over there as well. Other than that, they don't want to touch it that much anymore. And I think they found a good balance between like lines of sight and sniping. And Francois actually did a very, very interesting and smart thing. He's using trees to kind of cover those sniper lines of sight a little bit. So while you know targets are there, I can attest to that. It's not that easy sometimes just to hit targets because you're trying to hit them through the tree cover. So overall, after playing the map a little bit more over time, it's not as snipey as you might think it is. It also has some brawling opportunities. Do I think it's perfect? Not yet, but I think it's in a very good way. Now, moving on to the new map, it is going to be a variant of Hellboy Springs, which is a map that's only available in faction play, and this kind of biome is only available on this map. And they're very excited to basically use this biome and have Francois come up with a newly designed map. No, like of course he's got like some of the building blocks from other maps, like for example you see some HPG manifold in here, you see a little bit of Hellboy Springs in here as well, but they're basically giving Francois free reign to just make a cool map. And we have a couple of screenshots, and this is like one of the areas of the map. I believe this is going to be the northern area of the map, where you can see areas where you can walk up to, you can snipe, you can also jump jet around. You'll have some cover here in the central area, line of sight blockers as well. Also, once again, trees being used to try and like break up these long lines of sight. So while having snipers be viable, also not giving in too much of an easy shot here, and also not making lurming as easy. So overall, I was looking through those screenshots that were provided. I was seeing a couple of really, really good things. I'm looking forward to this map. It looks very unique. The verticality is stunning. I mean, this is basically the lowest level possible. This is I don't know if you guys can even see that. This is a tiny Jenner, I believe, just standing down here. So you've got this low ground level, and you've got this like mid ground level, a level up top of that, and even onto these mushrooms, these stone mushrooms, you can actually jump up to and shoot from there if you have like a light mech or a medium mech with enough jump jets equipped. Other than that, the outside of the map will not be traversable, so Francois was saying that he's giving players free reign to do stuff inside the boundaries of the map, but he doesn't want people to run around on the outskirts of the map, like in old HPG, for example. So, so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Of course, we haven't played it yet, so we can't say much about it, but it's going to be definitely a breath of a fresh wind, and I'm really happy that Francois was like let off the leash a little bit, so to speak. Moving on through the screenshots, let's see what else we can find. There we go. This lighting, of course, is not final. The map is not final, but nice mood lighting here. This is going to be one of the capture points. As you can see, like from the lower ground, there's going to be a lot of cover that shields you from enemy sniper fire, that shields you from enemy LRMs. So I'm happy that this is going to be in the map, and that we will have somewhat of an easier time. If you're trying to use brawlers, you will be able to get into range. We don't know how big the map is yet. I'm hoping that it's not going to be insanely big. Like I'm hoping it's not going to be a like Polar Highlands kind of size, because that would be a little bit overkill. So we'll see how big the map ends up being in the end. Moving onward, here's another look at another area where Francois was saying he's focusing on basically allowing the higher areas to be like light and medium mech dominated, and not so much assault mech dominated, and have like the lower ground areas to have more space where assault mechs can then freely move around and or shoot. And as I said, guys, I'm just speeding through this so that you guys can have a quick overview, and then jumping onto the most important points. Here you can see, for example, one of these trees. It's not hardcover, as in it will not block shots completely, of course. They can go through the leaves and whatnot, but these tree trunks, of course, will block shots. And it's going to do two things for you. It's going to make it harder for snipers to shoot you and or get locks onto you if they are learn boats. And it's going to allow you to get in closer range if you have something that needs to be up close and personal. Plus, it fits organically within the map, and Francois doesn't have to put in like lots of like big line of sight blockers and boulders everywhere, when we can just put a tree in here and be almost as effective, right? And I think that's a good idea. Don't be discouraged by FPS numbers that you see up here, guys. This is from the CryEngine editor, and that of course is going to be running at a significantly lower speed as opposed to what you then see in the game. So hopefully Francois also will be able to have this optimized in a way that we don't get another Solaris City. That being said, though, let me go on record saying that Solaris City, I find, is, as far as the map layout is concerned, one of the best maps out there right now. Moving on through the screenshots, yet another look at how it looks like shooting through those trees, or shooting on and hiding behind some of these trees. This is on the second level, I believe, looking at the central area that we saw beforehand. As you can see, ample space to move around and to shoot at the enemy. The map seems fairly big right now, but that could be a little bit like misleading. Like, we don't know exactly how big these distances are going to be. I'm hoping it's not going to be more than 10 squares. Hopefully, I would prefer like a 10 square maximum rectangle. Square is the word I was looking for. All right, moving on. Let's see if there's another screenshot of this map, but I don't think so. Oh yeah, there's a top-down view. This is the area where we saw like the huge verticality. Down here is the little Jenna we saw earlier. This is the mushroom area, and these are going to be like waterfalls. It's not going to be a spawn area. Spawns will be different. And as far as I understood, the capture points will be set up in a way on this map that you have like one capture point here, one capture point here, and then a set of like 3 capture points here, which sounds to be very interesting to me, because that should hopefully discourage Rotato Potato a little bit. And if I look at the layout of this map, there's a lot of cover, there's a lot of movement areas that you can move through. So I'm excited about this new map. I'm really happy about it. They touched on another point, though, which is the existence of spawn points where you spawn the groups close together versus spawning the groups in the old way. And they were just talking a little bit about it, but they weren't really going into much detail. Francois says he prefers units or the whole drop spawning together, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. And it gets a little bit like swept under the table in this video. So let me put some more information on that. The main reason why I'm a huge advocate for spawns being close together is, in the old MWO spawn system, you've got Alpha Lands, Bravo Lands, Charlie Lands. And Alpha Lands is the light lands normally, Bravo the more medium to heavy, and Charlie Lands heavies to assault lands. And the problem is, if you look at the map, let's say Hibernal Rift, for example, you got an Alpha Land spawn that is very close to enemy Charlie Land spawn, and that is the first lands that in a Rotato Potato scenario will get hit by the enemy team. Now the problem is, since the introduction of Soup Queue, groups being in solo queue, mechs are getting put into all sorts of groups. You might find yourself in an assault mech in Alpha Lands at a spawn that is designed for a light mech. And you're going to be the first to get hit by the enemy light mechs that are Potato-potating and crawling up on you. And that can be very, very frustrating experience. So I wholeheartedly support spawning all the groups together. All the group spawns that I've seen on the maps where Francois put the spawns together, some versions, not all of them, mind you, of Rubelite Oasis have that. One needs to be fixed still. Also, the new Canyon Network has that as well. And those spawns are good and they feel a lot better. And I would like Francois to dedicate some of his time to take all the other spawns that are so far apart and just put them together. It's a better game experience, and it resolves a little bit of the annoyances that we have with SoupQ. And we all know that SoupQ is not a perfect solution to the problem that MWO had. It was a band-aid solution, but it causes as many problems as it solved, unfortunately. So please move those spawns together, spawn people in groups. That's a lot of better experience than having to spawn in Alpha Lands in a fat boy and then getting your ass chewed out from the inside by enemy piranhas and whatnot. That's not a fun game experience, guys. So let's move those. Okay, moving on. Let's see what's up next. Next up, they are talking about the MWO Comp 2021 series, I believe. And as you guys remember, we were talking about the Warhorn that was released. That was released with the sound of the 2016 Championship Series, and players weren't too happy about that. So PGI went ahead, they re-recorded the Warhorn with different sounds. I believe the recordings were made by Starwolf, and those sound really, really good. There's two very, very nice voice lines in there that I wholeheartedly support. One of which is "Get wrecked," and the other one is "Sit down." So, guys, the Warhorn and the other goodies, including a boost to Seabills up until February, is available still. So if you want to support the MWO comp scene, the Championship Series, and if you want to get your hands on one of the best Warhorns, in my opinion, that was released in the last couple of years, then definitely go ahead and grab this pack. Half of the proceeds of the pack go towards the prize pool of the Championship Series, as I've already let you guys know a couple of weeks ago. Then on afterwards, it is into the annual rewards program. We've talked about this at length. Also, please refer to my video about the mech stats that are in the mechs that will be gotten by people that have put their points towards the annual rewards program. So if you're getting those mechs from the annual rewards program, ECM Irby, ECM Flying Atlas, and the Viper Foxtrot, you're gonna have a lot of fun with those. Please refer to my video that I just uploaded this day for more details. Of course, Trick or Treat 2021 is still going on, so if you want to get your free Hellspawn, then go ahead and push towards that goal as well. Also, make sure that you watch my video on the free Hellspawn. There's a nice SM6 build that you can do that makes this mech really, really shine. And there was some little more info about the Hunter Booster Pack, Predator Booster Pack, that's the new one that's coming up, as well as the sales that are currently going on. We've covered that in length. And then they were talking a little bit about what they have in store for 2022. Right now, a lot of the dev work went into localization for Russian servers and for like Russian gameplay. And to me, it sounded like once these are finished, it's going to free up some resources for MWO to have these then later on in 2022 to do some more work on the game, maybe even get a couple of new mech chassis in the game as well. Darren Matt was saying that they didn't achieve everything they set out to do this year, as we all know, but I agree wholeheartedly with them that this has been the best year for Mechwarrior Online in a long time. They made a lot of progress together with the Cauldron.
What we're still looking at in 2022, and we're currently having internal meetings about it every single week. We're meeting with the Cauldron about it, and we're mapping it out, prioritizing everything, but we're still looking at mech rescale. We're looking at skill tree, PSR, matchmaker, solo versus group queue, 8v8 versus 12v12, an event queue system, solutions for faction play, and Solaris. We're looking at, the possibility of more new maps, potentially even one from total scratch that is developed with a lot of direct community input. I'm really hopeful that we can make that happen. So is Francois, of course, and then potentially only new mech variants, but potentially new mech chassis as well. So there's a lot of stuff still on the plate.
Well, there you have it, guys. That is straight from the mouth of Darren. Lots of good stuff. I'm happy that nothing is getting swept under the rug. Some stuff has been delayed, sure. But yeah, it's looking like it's still all on the menu and they're still working on it. Things like mech resizing, solo versus group queue and whatnot. To hear that they're thinking about it and they're trying to come up with solutions, even if it gets put on the back, further back into the future, is something encouraging. And I hope it is encouraging to you guys as well. Mech resize is a thing they want to look at. More maps and, of course, map rebalancing is something they want to look at. And I think there is definitely an exciting year up for us in Mechwarrior Online, and I'm happy to be part of the community. What do you guys think about the new things coming towards us in Mechwarrior Online? What do you guys think about 2021 in the game? Let me know in the comments down below. This has been TTB with a quick overview. Hopefully this was helpful to you. And if not, if you want to see more details, then go ahead and check out the original video I linked in the video description below. As always, if you haven't done so yet, hit the thumbs up button. And of course, if you want to support me in doing this full time, then check out the links as well in the description below. Would have thought, right? I'll see you next time.